looking forward to today's episode. I'm excited to be with a remarkable woman who is making her mark in the tech industry. She's the managing director of Microsoft Nigeria and Ghana, and she's also the founder of a woman empowerment initiative called Uzemi. Thank you so much for being with me today, Olatomiwa Williams.
Thank you so much, Temi. I'm glad to be here.
That's great. And my Yoruba is not so good, but I think Ola means wealth or something like that.
Yes.
Could you say a bit on what your name means?
Okay, Olatomiwa is a Yoruba word, as you have rightly said. Ola means wealth or influence or blessings. So it means wealth navigates its way to me. So Tomiwa means something find its way to me.
Okay.
That's Olatomiwa means wealth navigates its way to me.
That's perfect. How fitting it is that you're on this podcast, Journey to Wealth, with me, Temi, being that your name means wealth has come to find me. And I think it truly has in different ways, because as we speak on this podcast, that wealth is like a soup, or like, let's say, your favorite meal. It's made up of namely 10 ingredients that we discuss in this podcast, like faith in God, strategic relationships, and so on. So there's different components that we believe that all individuals that are doing well or on their journey to wealth are building those different aspects of their lives. So I'd like to ask you on just some of those ingredients and how you've been able to build them. So let's start with faith in God. I believe that must be key in your journey to wealth so far. How would you say it has helped you?
Oh, you are absolutely correct. Faith in God is the anchor of my life and career. There is nothing, absolutely nothing I know that I would have been able to achieve without God's guidance. Trusting in God's guidance, wisdom, and timing has really been what has shaped my life, shaped my career, and strengthened me to navigate challenges that comes. Because life is full of challenges and opportunities.
Yes.
It's also what has helped me to be able to leverage opportunity in a timely manner and make critical decisions for my life and for everything that is involved in my life. Without faith in God, it's impossible to have true wealth. It might be possible to do some other things, but having true wealth is anchored in faith in God, and that has been true for me.
Yes, I definitely believe that faith in God is really important for true wealth. You can have maybe some kind of wealth or, let's say, riches.
Oh yes, and you really did mention that. Truly, it's possible to have material possessions.
Yes,
it's possible to have other things in life, but when we're talking about true wealth, we're talking about a fulfilled life with peace, prosperity, riches, and all. Money and material possessions are tools for us to achieve things in life, but true wealth is really what gives us fulfillment.
Yes, it gives us fulfillment, it gives us peace in our life. Now, I believe that you are a family woman, and in the case of strategic relationships, which is another ingredient of wealth, we mentioned that strategic relationships begins at home with your own family members. And there's so many people that in the pursuance of career or, climbing the career ladder, basically they have broken homes. How would you say you've been able to keep your family well knit together?
We started with faith in God, right? I think the most important thing in life is first, as an individual, to have a strong relationship with God. And that will define the relationship with the family, with my partner, with my children, and of course, every other person that God has brought into my circle. I think measuring wealth only based on career success is not accurate.
Yes.
True wealth is seen in my ability to continue to grow in my career while I still have a strong family, because the good book says that God puts solitary in family. There's a reason why God created family, and having the strong support and involvement of my family, even as I advance in my career, is top priority for me.
Yeah.
Because God, having a relationship with God also demands that we be at peace with all men, not so much people that are part of my own family. So yes, it's important to continue to grow in career, but it's more important to know that the home front, keeping a strong bond within the family, is really crucial. And I'm grateful to God because I have a supportive husband, because that's actually a critical aspect of it. I said earlier on that, God's guidance and wisdom has actually been the anchor of my life. I'm grateful that God has guided me to have a spouse that is supporting my career. But I must also understand that maintaining that relationship with him and with my children and everyone in my circle is really important. That's what defines true success for me.
Yes, truly. Could you give some, let's say, practical tips on how you've been able to manage the advancing your career while also involving your family into that? Like how?
So I think the first point for me is that God is at the center of everything that I do. Having my family to be part of my career success is really, really important for me. And as we said earlier on, true wealth is not only defined by material possessions or money. So true wealth is also seen in how integrated and strong my family is. And I'm grateful to God for giving me a spouse that is very supportive, but I also don't take that for granted. Yeah. I ensure that I prioritize my family. In any decision that I want to take, my family comes first in ensuring, but that doesn't mean that I neglect my work as well.
Yeah.
So I make conscious efforts to connect with my family, especially creating time for them. Even when I'm away, I consistently and constantly get in touch. We share a lot together. We do a lot of things together, and I ensure that my family understand my career journey. We share my success together.
Yes.
We share my challenges together. They are integral part of my career journey and progress. And my career is not a hindrance to my family. It has become a source of inspiration, especially to my children, that they know that it's possible for you to have a home and be successful.
Yes.
So it's also a point of learning and engagement between us, that we have conversation. And of course, I also set boundaries. There are certain decisions I would say no to because of my family. And there are certain considerations I can say, okay, yes, I can have this goal, and where we see challenges, we identify, we go through it together. So it's not just my own sole decision, but everyone in the family is carried along. And I think that at the end of the day, career success is not just about me as an individual. It's about how we collectively grow together as a family.
Yes. Wow, that's perfect. So I'm hearing open communication with your family. Honesty, you're not using your career as an excuse to why you can't be with them, engage with them. You're involved in each other's life, which is helping your family to be strong. And this is a key aspect of wealth, a strong family, building that strong relationship. Now, strategic relationships, as I mentioned, it starts at home, like you've described now with your husband and your children. But it also goes into with those outside of your family. This can be colleagues, your mentors, other individuals that are around. How have you been able to build strategic relationships in that aspect?
I'll say that I'm privileged to be in company of so many people, great people. If I talk about mentors, I have mentors that are super knowledgeable. and as well as advisors that I know that I can count on their advice. They have been a source of inspiration and guidance to me in my career, in my faith, in every aspect of my life. So that I'm grateful to God for. And I have colleagues that I really admire that are super smart. I see them as opportunity to continue to stretch myself and continue to reinvent myself so that I can also be a part of contributing to them. I have a number of, peers that we share ideas, network together for greater good of the industry and also our professional growth. And I'll say I also have strategic relationship with younger generation because the future belongs to them.
Yes.
So it's really important to not only just give what I know to them today, but also to inspire them to continue to grow. I believe that strategic relationship is not just about what I can get.
Yeah.
And that's why it's strategic. It's about also giving. Because the good book says that it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Yes.
So the more you give, the more you actually draw people to you because they know that, there's a value that this person is giving. I think strategic relationship is first of all about you wanting to give value to others. And that means you constantly developing yourself, trying to see how you can grow and be an asset anywhere you are. So for me, and it's really has been helping me in trying to say, okay, because I need to give in this area, so I need to go learn about what is required for me to be able to contribute in that community, whether at work or even at home with my children or in a community, in church, in any community or network opportunity that I find myself.
Yes, definitely. In considering a strategic relationship, I have to first develop my value. I have to build myself. I'm not going into the relationship thinking, let me find the person that is useful to me, whereas I may not be useful to them. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's important. There's nothing wrong in looking for people that will be useful to us, right? There's nothing wrong in that. But it's also really beneficial to see how I also can contribute or be useful to that person. Because you can imagine if I'm coming to you, I'm just taking from you, you're going to get drained at some point.
Yes.
And that means you won't be able to give to me again.
Yes.
So if I really love myself, then it's important for me to see how can I replenish you so that you can be in a position to continue to support and give not only to me, but for others. And that's how the entire ecosystem gets, prosperous.
Yes, that's true. Another thing that we talk about in the context of strategic relationships is that word strategic implies you have a goal, which is why there's a certain individual that is strategic to you. So how have you been able to identify who exactly is a strategic relationship for your life?
I think you have said it. You have a goal. I have a goal. I know where I'm going. I know what is important for me. And it's really important to sit down and analyze things. Where are my areas of strength? Where are my areas of opportunities? Where are my areas of, areas of development? Then I will now look out for people that I know that can contribute to my development. But of course, also, as I said earlier on, look at opportunities of also giving back to them. And it has been in different areas, whether it's spiritual, whether it's career-wise, whether it's financial development. It's important to identify key people that are knowledgeable or have a track record of success in such areas. For example, in my career, I look at other women and men that have gone ahead of me that have been successful. I try to get close to them. What makes them successful? What challenges did they encounter in their career journey? How were they able to surmount that? Then I learn from their experience and own it, so that I don't have to go through that again. And if I go through the challenges, I already have toolkits or templates to leverage. I know that context is also critical. There is not one size fits all, but having learned from the experiences will make the journey easier and faster. And I can also do the same for the next generation coming behind me. But if I don't have a set goal, even when I see a mentor or advisor or someone that I should be able to develop strategic relationship with, I won't take it serious because there is no goal. But because I have a set goal and those goals are the guiding principle of the engagement, then it helps me, one, to identify, second, to maintain, and thirdly, to be able to sustain that strategic relationship.
Yes. Identify, maintain, and sustain. Those are 3 keywords that you should probably jot down. And I want to speak on mentorship because I feel it would be beneficial to the youth that may be listening, how to identify a mentor. I think it ties into so many things you've been saying, but there might be this, let's say, skewed mindset as to what mentorship is. So maybe if you could advise people in regards to mentorship.
So I believe that mentorship is not a one-way street. It's two-way. A mentor gives ideas, guidance, and maybe share their own experiences with you. But it is your responsibility to take those advice, analyze them, and see how do I apply them in my life. A mentor will not do that for you. And it's also my responsibility, once I've been able to say this advice or guidance is applicable to my situation based on, brainstorming engagement with my mentor, then it's my responsibility to apply it. I think for younger people, one, please, mentorship is crucial. If you want your journey to be, not that challenge-free, and every journey is full of challenges, but you're able to learn from experiences of others to minimize the impacts of challenges so that you can get a stronger result. It's really important to have mentors. But it's also important to take the mentorship relationship really, really seriously. I see a lot of people have mentors. Sometimes they show up late. They don't, they're not prepared. They believe that the mentor should just give them all the information, all the answers. No, the mentor is not able to do that without your own participation. It's good to always be prepared when you're going to see your mentor. And also, it's also critical to see how can I also add to my mentor. Have that at the back of your mind, that a mentor is also human. They have needs, they have aspirations. How do you also ask them questions? What are the aspirations that you have? What needs do you have? How can I contribute to that? And if you are able to identify 1 or 2 areas, trust me, those areas will also be an opportunity of development for yourself, because I have experienced it firsthand. I've had mentors that had given me assignments to do for them, and those assignments had really, really helped me. It has prepared me for other opportunity. But at the time that I was doing those assignments, that was not the aim. The aim was, how do I also give back to this person that's given so much to me? But later on, I realized that, this was really also beneficial for me. So it's really important to understand that mentorship, or having a strategic relationship with your mentor, is not a one-way street. It's both partnering together to ensure that you are able to achieve your goals and objectives, and while you also adding value to your mentor.
Yes, of course. I think what I'm getting out of that is count your cost.
Correct.
Count your cost before you enter mentorship, because this is not It's not something where you just enter and you're just kind of messing around and things are just flowing to you and somehow you just end up somewhere. This is a deliberate course of action. You've mentioned a lot about reflection, brainstorming. I'm tracking what my mentor is teaching me. I'm grabbing all these things, learning from their experience. I'm asking questions. I'm also thinking about how can I give back to them and maybe even give back to those that may be behind me as becoming a mentor in the future. So I'm getting a lot there, but mainly counting your cost is really important before entering into mentorship. This has been an empowering session so far. I hope you've been taking notes and learning a lot from Olatomiwa Williams. We'll take a short break right here and then we'll be back soon.
Please put your hands together for a mentor, a leader, a purposeful woman, a passionate woman, the founder of the Uzemi Leadership Initiative. Put your hands together for Mrs. Olatomiwa Williams.
Why are we building Uzemi? Our mission is to prepare, promote, and position women for technology leadership position. It's not about women taking over. It's about women having opportunity to contribute to the society.
It's not a competition between women and men. But women leading with artificial intelligence, it's a no-brainer. And when I talk about the importance of women on AI, I mentioned that women bring diverse perspectives to AI, of course leading to more innovative and ethical and unbiased situations.
One is we want to nurture and expand the pool of women in tech leadership roles, and we want to balance domestic and leadership role.
Empowerment of the raw talents and the skills we have within this continent, is what will make us grow and evolve.
Uzemi woman.
And I would say as one of my mentors, you have developed something that has really helped me in my life, which is your Uzemi program. And ideas, it's an idea, right? Ideas is an ingredient of wealth, another key aspect there. And I'd like to know how exactly, because how were you able to grab that idea of Uzemi and bring it into reality? Because, ideas flow through so many people's minds. They just come as thoughts and we write them down, but we don't see them at the end of the day. So how were you able to grab it and then it became reality?
God is the originator of all ideas. But sometimes when I think about Uzemi and how it came about, you'll know that ideas just don't pop up in isolation. It also comes from, sometimes, maybe let me not be generalizing, ideas can come from things that we see around. It could come from our experiences in life, come from just, having discussions. But for Uzemi, I think this idea, it has to do with some experiences that I've had in my life, especially growing up. I grew up in an environment where I heard both male and female talk about my mom that she's not capable of having a male child, that she's only having a female child. And it was said in a derogatory manner. For me, at that young age, it made me feel like, is it that women are not useful in the society? Because if other women are also talking about women in that manner, because my mom, the first 4 children are female. I think she had a third I think, fourth girl. She was pregnant with her fourth child at that time, and they were talking about her that way behind her back. I couldn't tell her because I didn't want to hurt her. And then I was about 5 years old. Then I was praying to God. I said, God, please let my mom at least have a male child. One, so that these people will stop talking about her in this way. And secondly, maybe it's also, I also want to experience what it looks like to have a brother. But when my mom delivered, I was so devastated. It turned out to be another girl. So we became 4 girls in the family. And I resigned to faith, and I said, okay, at that time, because we were 4 then, if she's not able to give birth to male children, then how can women also be, seen as being equally of benefits to a family like a male child? And that has shaped my mind. Even though my mom ended up having other children, male children, but that experience really, really shaped my mind. I have this urge to always represent a woman in a way that is respected, in a way that is seen as contributing to the society. And that shaped my mind in different ways. But as God will have it, I became the first female country managing director in Nigeria for Microsoft. And I saw that generated a lot of positive reaction, both from male and female. And I see a lot of young girls coming up to say, oh, you are an inspiration to us. Then in my mind, even though in different ways and form, I've always been trying to support women in how I think I should be, but I could now sit down and track my life and say that God has actually been setting me up for this all along. I cannot just say that this is a coincidence. There is a reason and a purpose for that experience and how far I've been able to journey in life. And that's what really gave birth to Uzemi. To encourage young female talent within the tech ecosystem to go through the path of being processed, to become leaders within technology industry, so that we can have more female role models, that we inspire the next generation of women, that it's possible to be a woman and be a positive force within the society. And I know that, it's just a little beginning. God will continue to journey us, and there's still much more to be achieved in the future.
Yes, there truly is. There truly is. And the beauty of your story is how nicely it ties into value creation, because you're able to create value based off of a past experience, a past challenge, something that someone would have probably want to just cover up and forget, in terms of how women were viewed and all of that. But you're able to take that, it affected the way that your mindset and all, but it helped you to build something that is impacting so many women, I would say, around the world, if we're thinking now and in the future. Now, I'd like to ask again, when an idea comes to your mind, it was just like, I should empower women in technology. How did that become the mentorship program? How did that become, let's have a summit, let's reach out to these people? How did it develop into that? When we started, we spoke about different ingredients of wealth, and one of it is strategic relationship. Yeah, it's one thing for you to have an idea, it's another thing for you to also have people, that you're surrounded with people, quality people that will help you to carry out those ideas, own the vision alongside you, and bring it to life. I'm grateful to God. God has surrounded me with wonderful people that have the same passion and focus to contribute to empowering women to be a positive force in society. So yes, the idea came into my mind
But working with these people, us coming together, putting our collective brain power together, help us to come up with different ideas, which one of it is the Uzemi Accelerator program, to help create a structure for women to learn, not to first of all identify areas of development, not only technical but soft skills, different skills that they need to be strong leaders and able to contribute positively to any organization they find themselves, whether they are working as a career person or entrepreneur. And also brought up the idea of the summit and all the things that you see that we do in Uzemi. So I have a team of amazing people, including male and female, yes, that are contributing positively to this. And this is where wealth is not just about a person's what you have. It's also about strategic relationships.
Yes.
And of course, God also empower us to do all of those things, because all those things, everything originates from God.
Yes. And I like how we are connecting the different ingredients just using Uzemi as the example here, because we're talking about faith in God, how that's involved, strategic relationships, ideas, value creation, and of course other ingredients are involved in this as well, which we'll get into later. But seeing how all those different aspects are what has built Uzemi. Now I'm thinking, maybe there's not necessarily an order to this, but the way I'm hearing it is builds the team, builds the strategic relationships so that the ideas can have a platform to sit on. Would I be right in saying that?
Yes, you are right in saying that. It's really important when idea comes, you need to be able to also communicate the ideas to the people and get them to buy into the idea. And as we continue to shape it together, keep on communicating, keep on sharing, and also actively looking for more people to join through God's leading, because you also need to be very sure of the people that are joining, that they have the same values, they have the same vision, and the level of passion that I have in building this. So that's absolutely correct.
Yes. Thank you so much for explaining that to me. If you enjoyed this episode, don't stop here. Check out these 2 videos for more insights. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode.